Phil, you ready for one mo again? Well, second Wildstar take.
Let's do it one more time, but this time let's really mean it.
Let's mean it. Last time, half-assed. I'll be completely honest. My heart was not in it. This time, full hearts, clear eyes, can't lose.
Normally we don't talk about this publicly, but like that really wasn't our best video. We could do better.
It may have been, like quantifiably, it may have been our worst video.
That was what you might call a beta test.
Yeah.
For what our video for Wildstar should have been.
What's pre-alpha? What comes before alpha? It was our omega test. This is the final release version of Wildstar, and I wanted to come back to it because both of us have now had a time to play a lot more of it. I started a new character, as everybody did, because I don't think beta characters rolled over for anybody.
That's correct.
And I've gotten a little bit further. I've played with some more of the game's mechanics, and I know at first.
What class are you playing?
I'm playing as the Esper. So
awesome.
in the last video, I played as I showed off the Engineer and the Stalker. The Stalker was sort of the rogue type class, and the Engineer was sort of a pet class, tanking class. Kind of interesting. The Esper is just like psychic swords and like mind spiders and like energy eagles.
Energy eagles, yeah. This seems rad. This seems like I kind of want to switch to this class now.
It's pretty goddamn sweet. It actually behaves a lot like the World of Warcraft rogue, because you can see every time I use like my basic abilities, I build up a combo point essentially that makes my finishing moves a lot more powerful. Just cut down this big old flower, this Dr. Seuss-esque flower. Let me just ruin that for everybody else. So yeah, in this video I want to show off a little bit more of like the advanced combat and the limited action set builder, just to show like how easy it is to sort of chop and screw your class's archetype and their abilities, and then get into stuff like crafting and the housing. I think half of this video is the housing stuff because it's
great.
My favorite thing in the game, I think.
Yeah, that was my biggest surprise in the game, so I'm excited to talk about that.
But why don't you start, because you're playing as a warrior and you've gotten above like level 20, you were telling me, right? Like, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm in my 20s now.
Let's talk about the core gameplay, because at first blush I really, really, really liked it, and now I think I really, 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 really like it.
Sure. So I was more in the realm of the first time I played it, I was not that into it. The more that I play it, the more into it I am. It's definitely growing for me as well. It's growing on me.
It is. It's a kind of a weird hybrid between like the more traditional World of Warcraft, like plant it and wait for your cooldowns to expire and get your rotations so right, and the more like I guess modern idea of it being a completely action-based affair. It lands somewhere in the middle, I think.
Yeah,
and I think it does so really well.
You definitely still have rotations. If you've set up your action bar right, you're definitely still using like, okay, as you said, you're building up those combo points that you can use your finisher, and your finisher's going to be more powerful. You're still like, if I want to do this effectively, I've got to use these 3 skills first, and then this 4th skill.
I have 3 skills that I use, like this knife throwing thing builds up my combo points. I got those shurikens that are sort of fire and forget. And then I have a few like oh shit buttons. Like I have a stun, and I have a that spider that I can summon for a little bit, and then the finisher whenever my combo points build up. So like the idea of rotations, I think, is like sort of what people take umbrage with MMOs, because the idea is like you're just doing the same shit over and over again. But I think that this is where the limited action set, which is sort of their branding for you can't have too many abilities on you at any one time, kind of comes into play, because at any second I can change up my rotation, and equip a different set of powers that are good for like specific, like this is my like general long range like group player versus environment one. If I'm in a dungeon where there's like a ton of dudes around, I have a more area of effect based set, and you can save those and pick them back up at will. I think it's a pretty clever system, and it kind of gets around just the base repetition of MMOs.
The other thing that I will say that I felt pretty strongly after having played, 20, 30 hours now, I think that the first, like the tutorial zones in this game kind of do it a disservice.
They're pretty bad. It's partially the zones and partially that this is the densest MMO I've ever played. Like, it is throwing a lot of shit. And I played a ton of MMOs, and even for me, it was like, I don't know, guys. Like, this seems like I'm gonna have to go to grad school just to like learn how to play the game. It is not especially inviting, and I think it's a shame that they throw as much at you as they do, like very quickly, because I think they actually do a pretty good job of explaining it all to you. It's just like you have to work kind of hard at the very beginning of the game to come to grips with that.
Yeah.
I actually take it back, because some of that stuff, like the amp system, like they don't really explain at all, and it's like they're
I still don't entirely understand the amp
system. There are like enormous character customization systems that just like aren't very well explained. So this is the limited power set builder. I only have 6 slots unlocked, which sort of limits my options, but basically you pick abilities. So I just swiped out that knife throwing ability for this one, and then you have ability points that you can reassign at will. Thank God, like you don't have to go to somebody and pay them like 5 gold to do this. You can just do it at will, and it makes your abilities just a little bit more potent. So I just swapped out that sweet gold armor ability and dropped in like a healing over time ability right there.
Nice.
And I got rid of the knife throwing ability for another sort of basic attack. So the knife throwing ability is great. I can't move while I'm using it. It's like a very traditional like stand there and wait for the thing to charge. This ability I can move while I do it, and it summons 3 swords that I can set off like whenever I want to.
Oh,
it's pretty goddamn cool.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
It's pretty rad. I think all of the classes have like neat flourishes like this. Like the engineers, like one of the first abilities he gets is basically the like proton pack from Ghostbusters.
Sure,
like there's sweet shit that every class can do. I feel like the Esper maybe has more than the standard amount. In terms of like running around and questing and doing player versus environment stuff, it's very, very dense. And I kind of, it was a bit intimidating, like seeing your quest log to the side with like 6 different quests that you could be doing right now kind of is a bit paralytic to me. But then when you realize that it's sort of this, when I think general MMO logic for players is to get a bunch of quests that are all together, knock them out in one run, and then go turn them back in for like a huge chunk of experience. And I think that Wildstar is sort of organized that way.
Yeah, pretty much every area is like, get to your quest hub, you're going to get a whole bunch of quests.
Like,
and then
crazy amount of quests. That's the only rough part for me, is like whenever I get to a new area. Right now I'm in the capital city for the Exiles. I think it's the capital city.
Yeah, you're right.
Called Thade. And like seriously, you show up here and it's just gold exclamation marks as far as the eye can see. And it's like, on one hand, it's like cool, because you have so much shit. There's so much shit to do in this game. Area to area. And I think it actually moves, as dense as it is, it actually moves a little bit slower than World of Warcraft in terms of pacing. Sure. Really slower than any MMO. Like, you really kind of have to work for your levels. I find that I'm not really leveling up quite as fast as I do in other MMOs. I don't know, maybe that's just like psychology of having so much stuff to do at any given time. Mm-hmm. But it kind of makes it more rewarding when you do level up, because you get a ton of stuff usually when you level up.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm going to jump ahead a little bit here, because this is me trying to complete a path mission, and it takes me an embarrassingly long amount of time to find my way up. I guess we can talk about it. I mean, this is actually not a bad cross-section. I'm playing as an explorer. We explained the path system. It's like another layer of customization for your character that you choose at the beginning of the game that basically like gives you extra content based on how you like to play MMOs.
Yeah, I'm also doing explorer.
You are.
I'm on the same.
I have another character who's a settler who I actually like quite a bit, and that gameplay actually develops pretty nicely, because you're actually, instead of just building like, you know, the special stations that give characters extra life, you can build like basically like taxi stations that will help characters move around the map a lot faster.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they're like genuinely super helpful benefits. So here I'm playing as an explorer, and a big thing for explorers are like trying to break the game by like moving up pieces of the environment that maybe you shouldn't have moved.
It reminds me a little bit of the jumping stuff in Guild Wars 2, if anybody watching has played that.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Because it was all like, it was like they were like, you know how everybody in MMOs or RPGs in general likes just like Skyrimming up a mountain?
Yeah.
let's just make that a part of the gameplay.
That's what I try to do here. Now, some of the, you can see my Explorer missions are in that window in the bottom right. Some of it's kind of like broke. Like, this tells me that I need to be 7 meters hovering in the air, and that's where I'll complete the mission. Like, no, Wildstar, actually, that's not 100% true. If you click on the quest in your log, it will tell you actually where you're, like, what area you're supposed to be in. I'm, like, nowhere close to it, but for some reason that waypoint thinks I am. Which is, like, a bit frustrating. Because, like, nothing is more frustrating in this game than having, like, a bunch of quests you could be doing and getting, like, stuck on one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because more than any other MMO, like, it makes you think, like, am I just wasting my goddamn time? Like, do I need to go do one of these other 18 quests that I have that I could be doing? So I need to get up there.
You're so close. You're almost...
I'm not nowhere.
No.
I'm not close at all. Explorers are neat, though, and I'm sure every class has this kind of, or every path has this kind of content, but it's not just like you double jumping up stuff. Sometimes you'll find, like, I was in a dungeon and I just saw a rock. And I was like, oh, this rock looks weird, and I realized I could click on it, and when I did, it, like, opened up a secret path through the dungeon.
Yep.
Or, sometimes you see a, like...
I found entire, like, a whole outdoor... like a whole cave area that's not accessible to other paths, that it was just like, I found this rock formation and it opened up a cave and I got to go explore that.
Yeah, so this is sweet. It's not just like jumping. Sometimes you'll like activate special stuff in the environment, like these awesome floaty jump pads, although it takes me a while to realize where I'm supposed to be going. There we go. And then all of a sudden, like, it's not just like basic platforming, it is like crazy zero gravity, or I guess low gravity platforming.
Yeah.
And like the path content will throw stuff at you like this all the time. Like, I was surprised at the diversity of stuff that is available to you. Like, as an explorer, I'm going on like treasure hunts and scavenger hunts, or
and that's a big part of, we're talking about the density of content so much, which I think is absolutely true. I went and I saw the first content update they're doing.
Yeah.
And they talked about how they're like, we think we probably have more content at launch than any other MMO has ever launched with.
I think that's probably true.
Yeah, actually, as much as that sounds like just a claim, I think I probably believe that.
Yeah.
But it's not just density; it's also variety. It's also like, it's not just, we have 1 million quests, but they're all like, go here and kill 5 creature quests. Like, there's a lot of different things you can be doing, and that's really cool.
So that was like a really cool loop of me like figuring out that puzzle, completing the quest, and then like all of a sudden a dynamic challenge popped up that's like, all right, jump off this shit. Like, cool, I will. And then I get rewards for doing that. Like, the game is relentless in like keeping you constantly engaged.
Absolutely.
And I don't know, I think that's my favorite thing about it. I still don't understand when you click on a thing, does it just like increase your odds of like the roulette wheel landing on that thing, or?
Yeah, it's increasing your odds of it. Yeah, that's my understanding, but it does not guarantee that it will.
I found some of those challenges to be a bit uninviting. Like, sometimes you'll be doing a quest to kill 10 guys, which is already not like my favorite type of MMO quest to do. And then while like the first time you kill a guy, a dynamic challenge pops up that's like, hey, we'll give you special rewards if you kill 20 guys in 5 minutes. It's like, that doesn't sound good to me at all. Thank you, but no thank you.
And also, those challenges seem a little bit less balanced than the actual game. So sometimes you get them and it's like, I don't think there's a way for me to complete this.
Yeah.
Or like, I don't think there's a way for me to get the gold on this challenge unless I was like 3 levels higher.
Yeah. Okay, let's get to the real part. For some reason, I jumped in here and it failed that quest for me. I have no idea why. Let's just restart that real quick. So this is my house. This is my area. Every player at level 14 gets access to their own floating island that they can build stuff on. And it's a bit Skyrim-y, if you played the, Hearthfire expansion, because you build sort of the basis of the house and then you can put down furniture in it, but you also have these little modules around your house where you can plunk down like special stations. Also, once a day you can go to that board and get like an experience bonus buff that lasts all day. So for instance, I built this basically little forest where I can cut down trees that grow, in real time. And my two professions are survivalist, which is basically cutting down trees, skinning animals, getting meat from animals, and architect, which uses that wood and leather and stuff to build furniture, because I'm pretty deep into the crafting. I also have a little garden here where I found seeds in the world that I then planted into the garden. I harvest them with my psychic swords, which is pretty goddamn cool.
That is cool.
And I get my harvest, get some extra seeds there, and then just like that, I can take those seeds, just drop them right back in the earth, wait for them to grow. It's like a super cool system. It's like, I don't know, I think there was that Penny Arcade cartoon that called it, level 14 is when you unlock Animal Crossing. And I think that's actually pretty... Well,
and the thing that surprised me about it is because normally I was not excited at all about the system. Normally, I'm not into the idea of
player housing.
Player housing, yeah. I'll check it out, but I'm not going to spend a lot of time doing it.
Sure.
What surprised me is that when you put down these modules, a lot of them aren't just decorations.
No.
A lot of them are like, you put it down and it's like, this is a little like mini adventure.
Yeah. Well,
this is like a little challenge.
That big floating stone spire that's right next to me, that's something I built, and then it was like a little challenge to see how fast I could get to the top. I should explain what I'm doing because they don't do a good job of explaining the crafting system at all. So you can salvage stuff. I just salvaged some stuff in my inventory to get some crafting components. And this is I built this crafting station as like another one of those little modules. And then you look at schematics and then choose one. And if you have the right materials, you can make it. This is the tech tree, which requires you to like make a certain number of something to unlock more recipes. So if I make like 5 granite fences, it'll unlock like the long variant of it, which is what I did there. And this is the crafting screen. It's the craziest thing ever. I don't know if it's like this for every trade skill, but this is what it is. Okay.
As far as I've seen, because I'm doing blacksmithing that was just like this.
You start in the center, and then you pay to add these special additives to it. And those additives change your location on the target. So you start in the center, and for instance, like those wait until I actually stop on one. This Medusa glue will move me down. So you click that, and now all of a sudden I'm down. Now I want to land on one of those blue targets if I want to make a variant. Otherwise, I'm just going to make a basic granite fence. So I went down to... You only have 3 steps to do it, though, so you have to sort of puzzle it out. So by going down, down, and then right, I landed in the right thing. And now when I craft it, instead of getting the basic granite fence, I get the variant long granite fence. It's a crazy system that they do nothing to explain. And it's tough because like you get quests right away that are just like make this super advanced variant that you have to unlock like 3 things on your tech tree. Go have fun. Like you didn't explain how to do that, Wildstar. I don't know how to do this. It makes sense once you know how to do it, and it's actually kind of an engaging way of crafting that's not just like waiting for a meter to fill up. But,
yeah. And one thing I will give them credit for is they do have there are a bunch of points in the game where you can take crafting quests. I think it's even like a daily system, so they get updated every day. So that I like that. I like that there is a system in place to encourage you to craft, to keep crafting and keep working on those skills.
Yeah. So
even if it's like there's nothing I could build for me right now.
Whenever you craft or find a decoration item, you add it to your crate, and then you can basically take things out of your crate once you're in your house and adjust them. You can either do it by clicking and dragging them. You have like a little scale slider there, or you can open up these advanced options where you get like basically full-blown like 3D transform options to do with it whatever you will. So just like that, like I put down some grass.
And you can, I love just how easy it is to make things like bigger and move them around.
So for instance, that tree that I planted a while ago, and just pick that up and move it over, and then like if I want it to be like a giant tree, booyah! Now I have a giant ass tree on my lot, just like that. It's like a huge tree. I did not save it. It's very easy to like work on something for a long time in this creation system, and then like click the wrong place and lose all of the work that you did. Which is probably my one qualm with it so far. But like all of this stuff, like that grass, those fences coming out from the entryway, that tree, is all stuff that I placed there. There's like a cool little banner over there. Some of the items like that banner will actually increase how much rested experience you get.
Yeah.
By whenever you like log out in your... I don't know if you have to like be in your house to when you log out.
I think you have to be
it.
in your house. Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, some of that stuff like gives you an actual tangible bonus. So like it's not just for vanity's sake.
Another thing is like you actually can go inside your buildings and stuff.
I will go in it.
I have a rocket ship for mine.
Oh, neat. Yeah, I actually have
hang out there.
I have the rocket ship too, but it seemed a little sci-fi for me. I wanted something more quaint. I think I just played Animal Crossing too much, and like you don't get to live in rocket ships in that game.
You wanted something more humble than a rocket ship.
Yeah.
You didn't want to look like you were bragging to your neighbors.
Right. Well, I don't have neighbors. I think there is a system for like connecting. Like
I
wish you would accept my goddamn friend request that I've sent you like 4 times now.
Wait, really?
Yeah, dog.
Oh no.
Yeah. So just like that.
I didn't think you'd bring this up during the video.
Well, you should have, because I'm very upset about it. So just like that, put a little banner there. If you go inside, it's very humble. Listen, here's what is surprising to me. Everything is super expensive. Everything is very, very expensive. You can either craft stuff, which like takes some time, and obviously you have to level that up, or you can buy furniture items directly from the vendor. That's in that tab in that menu over to the side, and it's like super expensive. If I wanted to buy like new hardwood floors for my house, it's like a couple gold, and that is a significant amount of money in this game. The economy for this game is not to the point yet where like you're paying 8,000 gold for everything. Like your first mount that you get at level 15 is like 10 gold, so that represents like a pretty huge amount of money.
I will actually say like I hit this point. I opened up the housing thing. Spent a bunch of money like buying stuff that I was like, I want to check this out.
I spent every last dime I had on shit.
and then I was like, oh, I probably should have put that money towards buying a mount.
It's crazy how much room they give you to like screw yourself over, because like I have unlocked abilities. Whenever you unlock abilities by leveling up, you actually have to pay for them before you can use them to like finally unlock them. I have unlocked maybe half of my abilities because it costs money, and no thanks, Wildstar. I would rather, instead of having a new like, you can throw a pyrokinesis ball at somebody or something, I would rather buy a new couch for my pad, because those two things, no kidding, are almost equivalent in price. Like they cost almost the same exact amount of money. It really gives you a lot of freedom. Like I had this canopy, which I tried to put, I don't know why it wouldn't let me place this down. I think it was probably colliding with the rug or something like that. I haven't had too many problems with like the housing builder like not letting me do stuff. This is one of those times. But you can get kind of creative, like in that same Penny Arcade post where they were talking about it being Animal Crossing, they had a picture of a woman who had made a dollhouse for her stuffed animals out of all this stuff just by taking it and reducing the scale all the way to 0. And then all of a sudden she had this like totally sweet dollhouse in the middle of her house using real life furniture that she shrank. It's like such a cool idea. You have so much freedom. You can see those ropes. You see those ropes I have hanging on the walls? Not the netting on the right, but those 2 big ones to my left there. That's actually part of a fence that I made enormous, and then I just sort of sank into the wall to get that natural thing there to the side. It's a really, really like clever system that gives you almost like infinite ability to make stuff. And all of it is like physical and interactive. Like if I wanted to, I could climb up to the top of my room using like the furniture. I could create like a staircase made of boxes if I wanted to.
Create your own jumping puzzle here?
Yeah, sure. Why not? So I'm going to take this canopy that I couldn't do anything with, and if you shrink it down all the way, what's that? You got a nice little cloth end table.
Oh, that's nice.
Isn't that nice? So
that's
just
really
like
nice.
that.
You can just set your book there when you're tired and...
Yeah. Well, I don't read. I'm in a like amazing magical fantasy world. Why do I need to read? You know? Let's drop that down.
Just learn some things. I don't know. Better yourself.
I'm actually kind of terrified at like how deep I'm gonna get into the like housing building stuff, because...
And it's one of the systems that they're just going to keep adding more to.
Right.
Like they've already said in the first update they're adding tons of new housing options.
Like I will do like a 40-man raid over and over again to get a lamp. That's who I spent like 150 hours playing Animal Crossing.
Are you organizing this raid? Are you the one bringing these 40 people to get...
Yeah, but then I'll have to like kick everybody out right after we finish the final boss so nobody can need the lamp. You know what I mean? Look at that. Look how chill that is. I played Animal Crossing for like 150 hours on 3DS. This is Animal Crossing in an MMO, but instead of like having to deliver like a shovel to get a new rug, you have to like get your character to max level and do a raid.
Oh, you did? You did make your own.
I did. Look at that. Now I've got like a special secret hammock that nobody knows about but me.
And you can just be up here sleeping.
Basically, I'm saying that this system is going to kill me to death.
Yes.
Which is a shame because I like living and I like playing other games. And I think that...
You can't anymore.
I can't anymore, I don't think. I don't think Wildstar will let me. But yeah, that's the housing system. Oh, I think I remembered to show off... Let me put down that fence I built real quick. Because it's killing me not having it. My beautiful artwork out here. It's like... And this part is like so like Harvest Moon, like building structures around your little farming... settlements. Like it is every sort of, they have taken a lot of great ideas from every sort of basic life sim game genre. Yeah, man, it's gonna I almost wish that this stuff was available earlier in the game, because I did kind of stop playing at level 14. Like I have stalled out in a huge way. Trying to get like my feng shui totally right. You can also remodel stuff.
I was told by when I met up with the people working on this game to see the downloadable content.
Mm-hmm.
I was told, they said like they have the stats, and they said there are a lot of people who hit this level
and just
unlock
stop.
the housing stuff, and like that's kind of, they spend a long time.
The only reason I'm like
that level.
Playing and questing and leveling up now is to get more money. Because I spent all my money on candles and boxes and shit. So this is super cool. You can remodel like your roof and your walls and your door, and then you can also remodel like the sky around your magic island. So you can create like a beautiful rainbow in the distance. And turn it into space. That's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. And again, like look at the cost of some of this stuff. Like that's like half a mount if I wanted to buy that. 10,000. That's like all the money in the world. That's a crazy amount of money. There's no way. There isn't
any more money. That's it.
No, that's it. This is a cool one. You can make it underwater.
Yeah.
So it looks underwater. I don't know, man. It is a completely deep and super addicting part of this game. And it's just a part of this game. Like there's a lot of other stuff to do too.
Yeah, like this could totally be its own full thing.
Yeah, I think so.
All by itself. But...
Anyway, this is Wildstar. I'm liking it a whole lot. Phil, you're going to be reviewing this real soon, right?
Yeah, we should have a review up in the next week or so.
All right. Well, thanks for watching, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.